Hi everyone, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. This is going to be a quick news and updates kind of video, just a few things I want to share with you, and a box that I want to open up as well. So I want to let you know, if you're waiting on your promos from our last fundraiser, we're making great progress there, due in large part to my gaming group. I want to say a big thank you to them because they got together with me at my invitation to have a little pizza party and also pack envelopes together. So we did that. We've got the majority of those envelopes packed. Still waiting on the XenoShift promos. Unfortunately, those are stuck in a container somewhere on the west coast of the United States, assuming that's west. And we're waiting on a union dispute to get resolved so that those can be set free and sent here to Canada. As soon as they are, then I'll have everything I need to really wrap things up. But I'm still working on what I can in the meantime. Still got lots of postage to put on things. We still have to pack all the rest of the promos that we did have. And if you want to, you can go to the updates on our Indiegogo page, and I do weekly, sometimes more frequently than that, updates to let you know exactly how that progress is coming. But I'm encouraged. It looks like I am going to meet my sort of self-imposed deadline of the end of this February. Do you know who Scott King is? I hope you do, but in case you don't, let me give you a quick introduction. Scott is a professional photographer. He took the photos that appeared in our Watch It Played calendar. Actually, he put the whole calendar together that we gave away as one of the perks in our last year's fundraiser. He's also done other gaming calendars as well. He takes pictures professionally for publishers. Does wonderful, wonderful work. If you haven't seen any of it, you should check it out. I would actually show you the pictures from our calendar. Unfortunately, I gave the last calendar I have away to my daughter who's in Japan. I thought she'd enjoy that as a keepsake. Hopefully she doesn't watch this video because it's meant to be a surprise. But that reminds me, I need to order another copy for myself to have. Also, he's an author. He wrote this book here, Cupcakes versus Brownies. We've talked about that before as well. I believe he's working on another book, Lovecraftian, I believe, because I saw some pictures on Twitter that suggested that was the case. And he's a podcaster, and I like to think he's a friend as well. Hopefully he won't refute that. But let's go back to the podcasting thing. He has a podcast called The Creator's Cast, which he uses to talk to a variety of different kinds of creators, not just in the board gaming hobby, but outside of that as well. And he very kindly invited me to come on the show and talk to me a little bit about what it's like creating the content for Watch It Played. So if you haven't heard me talk about that in the past and you'd like to check that out, I'm going to put a link to those podcast episodes. There's actually 2 episodes. One's kind of more of the interview type podcast. The other one's a little bit more conversational as well. He does a wonderful job with this podcast, and certainly I'd invite you to come and listen to the episodes that I'm in, but I would highly recommend you subscribe to the podcast and check out all the other great guests he's had on as well. Now, I know I've mentioned this before, but as the dates get closer, it's becoming more of a reality to me, and I'm getting more excited about it. From April 17th to 19th, 2015, I'm going to be in Grapevine, Texas at the Table Expo. And I think their title is interesting. They're not calling it Table Con, they're calling it Table Expo. And I think that's because they want to emphasize the idea of sharing the hobby with people inside and out of it. And so I'm going to be there. I've been invited as a special guest along with a number of other people, and I consider it a real privilege. I'm going to be there teaching, learning, and playing games, and maybe doing some other special events as well. So if you're in the area and you'd like to check it out, they've launched their website, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. You can register so you can attend, or just even check it out and see some of the cool guests that are going to be there. Now, speaking of that expo, I have a box here which relates to another convention. And I know it's inside the box, but I just want to open it up here now and share it with you. You may have heard me talk about the idea I had for running my own convention here locally. It wasn't really going to be necessarily a Watch It Played convention or anything like that, but just something sort of local. I wanted to have the experience of what would it be like to run a small con, have open up to the public a little bit, get some people maybe in the local area and outside of it to come and join me. And I quickly realized what kind of an undertaking that would be, and that to be able to do it to my satisfaction, I was going to need to dedicate some real time to it. So I thought, okay, I'll put it off for a year. And honestly, I'm looking at this year and the schedule I have for shooting and realizing it's probably not going to happen this year either. But some people do manage to run conventions successfully, and this comes from Gary Tanner, who gave me some helpful advice when I was thinking about running my own convention, encouraging me how to do it and good ways to approach it. And he sent me here, let me show you what it is. He sent me a t-shirt for his convention Bryce Con. Give me a second, I'm just going to pop this on, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Well, Gary, it's a perfect fit. Thanks for the pin and for the t-shirt. I love getting t-shirts because I feel like with Table Talk, you guys have seen my entire wardrobe, so it's nice to have new things to put on for the episodes. Gary shared a couple of details about the convention, which was actually held just this past January in 2015. They were expecting between 30 and 50 people and ended up with 130, and it went very smoothly. He said the people had a great time. They played scheduled games, tournaments, and there was 24-hour gaming. And best of all, he says, people who attended said that they are planning to attend next year. So congratulations, Gary. It's a big undertaking. Thank you for the time you spent with me talking and sharing your ideas and thoughts. That was really helpful. And I just want to let you guys know, if you're interested in attending this convention, which is in Bryce Canyon City in Utah, they have a website. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. And the next one is running from January 15th to 18th, 2016. All right, there's one last thing I want to share with you. I was recently contacted by the owner of a new website service called GameShelf. The full website is gameshelf.se. And of course, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. So let's say you're having a get-together with your friends for a game night and you're just not sure what to play. Well, you can go to this website and put in your Board Game Geek username and the usernames of your friends. And then the website will go to Board Game Geek, look at your collective collections, and then recommend a game for you based on the number of players and then a variety of factors that you can pick. Like say you want to recommend it based on the game's rankings on Board Game Geek. Or maybe based on just the rankings of your group and what those specific people have said they like. Or games that people have flagged that they want to play within the group, and so on. There's a variety, like 8 or 9 different options I think you can choose from. And I just thought this was so clever. I love when I see people who have an aptitude or talent for something and a passion for the hobby, and they find a unique, interesting way to bring those two things together. And that's really what I saw here. And I had a lot of fun just going to the website, plugging in just even one other friend and seeing, well, what does this website think that I should be playing with that other person? And then having kind of fun going, well, do I think so or not think so? I think it's a neat way. We've talked about this before on Table Talk, about when you get together with friends, you're not sure what to play, how do you choose and all the rest of it? Well, here's another clever way of doing it. So give that a check out if you have a chance. That's everything I wanted to share with you. Hopefully you found something in there informative or interesting, but otherwise, until the next episode, thanks for watching.